Hello scholars and welcome to the ninth video series about waves, energy and information. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day, and again we're getting super close to the end of the school year that will be next Wednesday. So make sure that you keep sharing your work with us teachers so we can mark you as complete. So recapping what we learned yesterday, in today's lesson, we're gonna continue learning scholars about investigating collisions. So we're gonna be learning more about collisions. So for today, you're gonna be doing a really fun activity using some coins. So, modeling traveling waves. So, what did we learn about the motion of particles in a material when we were using the simulation? First, remember when you highlight and select one particle, we learned that they bump into each other. Second, they collide. And then the particles move only a little. It depends on the amount of energy that you are releasing or that is being released. So for example, think about when you were listening loud music. That speaker is releasing a lot of energy, so the particles are moving a lot. But now think about when you're playing, for example, if you have a car or something that you make bump into each other, like two rocks. Think about that you're walking and you kick one rock and that rock hit another rock. The rock that is receiving the hit moves a little bit. Sometimes we cannot even see that. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't move. It means that the particles are colliding and moving each other, even if it's a little bit. So let's recall the question for chapter number 2. So how does sound energy travel through the water from a mother dolphin to her cub? We have been exploring this question, and for this we have been reading, using the simulation, and also wearing our hats of marine biologists to make hypotheses of how do we think this communication happens. So today we're gonna get more details to answer this question. So, key concept scholars. Sound energy travels as a wave. The particles of the material it travels through move only a little. The particles of the material it travels through moves only a little. So for example, if you have this here and you speak hello, something, put something in front of you, and when you're talking, this item is moving a little bit. For example, this bottle. It's moving a little bit even if you don't see it. Why? Because your voice is having a lot of energy going out and it's interacting with the item and move it a little bit. Maybe you have seen in superhero movies or in TV series when there's like a villain or something that has like waves coming out of his or her mouth and the other person is like, oh, I cannot move. That's the same concept, just that in that case, you can see the wave and you can see the sound energy traveling, and that's how people were like making that in the animation. So people were like, oh, this is what's happening, and that's have a lot of energy. So revising sound diagram. So let's look back at our diagrams and review what we have learned about sound so far. Remember, scholars, that since week number 1 in science, you have been working on making the sound diagrams to learn more about mother dolphin and her calf communication. So we're exploring how do they communicate, and each time that you learn something new, you're adding more details. So our diagrams are models showing how a sound travels. Scientists often revise their models. That means that they observe it, they take notes, they make more new observations, and then they make decisions, either to revise, change, modify, or keep the same models. Why are they doing that? They're doing that because every single time scientists are discovering something new. And when they discover something new, they change how they originally think about something. That's how scholars' knowledge grows, and we know a lot about different aspects of nature and ourselves. So now that we know more, let's think about what we can add to our diagrams. So now you can add to your diagrams how particles move in a sound wave. Let's remember, scholars, that yesterday we saw the image of the whale and how the particles move. They move back and forth, and remember that they are together. So energy comes from one source, the whale travels to the water and is impacting, touching, moving other particles. So that's something that you can add now in your models. So what do we now understand about how the particles move when a sound wave travels? We now know, scholars, that the particles move only a little. They bump into other particles, which make them move. And those particles bump into the particles next to them, and so on. Think about a house of cards. Think about when people place all the cards around an area and they move the first one. The energy from the first one touches the other, and so on. It moves around. That's how particles move. That's why you can hear, and when you're, for example, when someone at home makes a noise, calls you or something, you can hear her or him because the particles are touching each other and moving to your ears because you are the receptor. They are the source where the energy is coming from. So, key concept. Sound travels as a series of collisions between particles. Every single time that there's collisions, they are sound traveling between the particles. So that's a way in which you can communicate. So, investigating energy transfer. Okay, scholars, so we are going to be doing this really quick investigation with coins. Investigation number 1. Place the nickel and 1 penny on the desk without touching the penny with your hands. Make both coins move. Investigation number 2. Place all the coins on your desk in front of you without touching the pennies with your hands. Make all the 4 coins move. Record. After you complete this investigation, record what you did. So, scholars, this will be an investigation and an activity that you're going to be doing at home with some coins. You just need a couple of them, so don't worry. If you don't have pennies or nickels, just grab quarters or others that you may have so you can use them for this activity. So, you will need to be working to answer the questions about your investigation. So, question number 1 is, how are the coins a model of particle collision? So think about what we just learned and what we have been learning about particles, how they move and energy, and how when one coin collides with another, that's a particle. Why is that? And second, question number 2 is, when coins collide, what happened to each coin? Do they stand still? Do they move? How much do they move? If you want to have more details, you can have a ruler and see where it starts, where the coins originally starts, and after the collision you can trace how much energy and distance it is traveling. That would be a great way, scholars, for you to see if a coin travels long or short distances according to the energy that you are throwing it first. So, debriefing coin collision investigations. So your hand make the nickel move, which made the pennies move. So what have you learned is the ability to make something move? Energy. Energy is the one that rules the whole universe. You, me, everything that you need, even the computer that you're using now to watch this video requires energy. If you have no energy, there will be nothing going on. Think about when you're, for example, want to use your cell phone and it has no energy. It means that you cannot use it. So the same happens with particles colliding. In order for a sound to happen, you need energy. And that energy is coming first from you, from your lungs, from your voice box, and then your vocal cords, and then your mouth. That's when you are communicating through the air as a human. However, dolphins and whales, as we have learned, they also communicate in different ways that we do, but underwater. Or the bluebird that we were reading about, it communicates through the air too, making two distinctive sounds. So, how is the motion energy traveling to and between the coins? The hand has energy and moves the nickel. Then the nickel has energy to move a penny. And then the penny has energy to move another penny. It's very interesting, scholars, to realize that energy can't stop. For example, it means that if I throw my nickel, it will touch the penny. There will be energy transferring from one to the other. However, they will stop. Why? Because there are other laws that apply on Earth. For example, friction. There's no perfect thing without friction on Earth. Everything has some friction. Even if you are, I don't know, think about throw your coin through the floor. You will see how it travels certain distance, but it eventually will stop. Why? Because the force of friction is going the other way, which is making also energy and force. That is reducing the amount of energy that is in the coin, and eventually it will stop. So, what did you notice when two pennies collided? The moving penny stopped moving or slow down. The next penny start moving. The pennies change direction. Yeah, it depends on the angle in which you are throwing the pennies. They can change direction. But eventually, remember, scholars, they will stop. Why? Because of friction. So, what is happening to the energy each time the coins collide? Energy is going from one coin to the next coin, as I previously explained. So, remember that we are investigating this question. How does sound energy travel through a material? How is what happening with the coins similar to the particle collision that happen when sound travels? We know that sound travels as a series of collisions between particles. Particles collide. This causes some particles to move and some to slow down, just like when the pennies collide. Some pennies move and some slow down or stop moving. What is the source of the energy in a spring toy wave? The hand. It's going from the source to the listener and it's going back and forth. That's the wave length. And all of it is moving because of the release energy. What is happening to the energy when the hand moves the spring toy? The hand moves the first part of the spring toy. So it transfers energy. Then that first part of the spring toy hits the next part of the spring toy, transferring its energy again, and so on. If there was energy always moving, scholars, each side of the spring toy will not stop. But we cannot do something forever because the energy will either stop. Like if we do some motors that are moving energy, we will require fuel to power that motor, and eventually the fuel will run out, and eventually the spring tool will also stop. Okay, scholars, so that will be the end of today's lesson. Please make sure to watch the video as many times as you require to complete your packet. Don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. And again, don't forget to share with me your star question. That will be very important for me to continue monitor your progress as a scholar in science, and also to make sure that you're completing all your work. I hope all of you have a wonderful learning day, scholars, and I'll see you tomorrow in our next science lesson. Thank you so much, scholars. Have a good one. Bye-bye.